And I forgot to say that people who are watching online and also people who can't be here today with us because of COVID. So yes, hello everybody who is watching. Some of you know that I come from Czechoslovakia, which was a communist country. And we all have our pasts. And sometimes we think that they do not affect us and everything that happens to us is kind of irrelevant to what we are living now. But I have learned that it is not true. Running will be my escape, I thought. But running away from your past is a race that you will never win. No matter how good you are or how much you love running, you find yourself having to constantly run further without getting any sense of achievement, satisfaction, or relief. And how far can you run? Tens, hundreds, or thousands of miles? For one day, no matter how long it's been, or how far away you've come, you are going to have to stop and face the truth. You have exhausted yourself and you start falling. You feel powerless and breathless. You are covered in sweat, dust, and open wounds that start bleeding at the slightest touch. You are a time bomb ticking away. What now? Your past was designed to serve you, not to destroy you. We all have our pasts, and our pasts become our pathways. Sometimes those pathways are filled with traumas, abuses, bereavements, failures, disappointments, regrets, and shame, like mine. Maybe you just wish you could forget everything and run from it all with the hope that somehow, someday, or with somebody else, in another place or country, you will free yourself from it and all the hurtful memories. But you won't. I've learned that you could never run far enough away from your past and just magically escape what it is that is lying unresolved within you. Battles you need to fight are neither in the places nor with the people you leave behind. They are inside you. You are going to have to see yourself as who and what you are and fight your demons. It's the inner or mental conflict that can defeat you. Nothing or nobody else. So this is how my book starts. So hopefully you will get a feeling for the style. I am not a writer, you know me, I am a teacher. So this idea to start writing a book came when I was running. And I thought, like, that's a really crazy idea. Like, why should I write a book? But this book is very authentic, so hopefully it will be inspirational for you. There are so many stories these days which are, you know, fiction, and people maybe are kind of like fed up. You know, we need real stories, people who are fighting their battles every day. So I think and I hope that my story will help people, you know, like you, or will inspire people. So sometimes you are the enemy of the state, or of yourself. You know, you have to fight your own battles. And sometimes there are people who are enemies of the state. And when I was writing this book, there were things happening that were like really shocking. And so I called one day a person from my country, and I was asking her about something else, and then she said, "Beata, and by the way, do you know?" And I was like, "No." So in my book, in chapter 2, there is a story about a lady, and I think she is watching. She is in America now, in her 80s, who was the enemy of the state. It was during the Second World War. I do not want to spoil the story, but she has written a book as well. So this is her book, her story. And how is this connected to my story? Then you will need to read and find out. But somebody from my family, in 2008, the Israeli Commission for Designation of the Righteous decided to award the title of righteous among the nations to somebody from my family. But you need to read the book. So anyone who saves even one life saves the whole world. And there are some people who are really courageous and they do not listen to maybe what the authority says or maybe what people say because they follow their heart. And there is another story. And the person is actually here. When she didn't listen to what the doctors have to say. I knew something was wrong, Beata. She continued telling her story. And then the doctor said that she was sorry, but the baby was very poorly. They measured the fluid at the back of the baby's neck, and if it was over a count of 4, they would be worried. This baby was 6.2. And the doctor said she had never seen that much fluid in her life. Either the baby has Down syndrome or there is a chromosome deficiency. Nicola recollected the doctor saying, "There's a 95 to 98% chance that my baby has Downs, and then there's only a 50% chance of survival." The doctor did a harmony test, but it had to be sent to America for analysis. "I felt so guilty that I pushed for this baby," said Nicola, explaining her mixed feelings. "I felt embarrassed because people would feel sorry for me and that I shouldn't have done it at this age. Then I felt ashamed that I had felt embarrassed." There was never an option for them, however, that she would terminate the pregnancy. Neither Nicola nor her husband wrestled with that. Whatever the eventuality, they were prepared to embrace it. They just kept on having appointments and we kept on praying. They saw another doctor who said that the fluid was 5.6 and it was awful and the baby had a problem with a major organ. But Nicola felt a bit more positive because, as she said, the fluid had gone down. It was still worryingly high, but a bit lower. They were told that there was a 1% chance that the fluid would just disappear and she would have a healthy baby. 1% chance of a healthy baby. 1%. 1. And this is Molly now.
"I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware. We're gonna be the main event, like no king was before. I'm busting up, I'm knocking down, mocking the marrow. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. No thanks to this, no thanks be there, no thanks stop that, no thanks see it, feeling right around all day, free to do it on my way. Everybody look left, everybody look right, everybody look on, shine the spotlight, let every soul for broken sing. Let's hear it on the hood and on the wing. It's gonna be King Simba's finest fling. Oh, I just
So yes, that's Bolly. So chapter 8 is called Miracles Do Happen When You Believe. And sometimes people don't believe in miracles. You know, it's just, oh, why should it happen? Why should it happen to me? And Nicola is here with us. So they do happen when you believe. So this is, I think, one of the strongest probably messages I would like to you know, leave with the book, that they do happen. Just believe. Just believe. And then there was something else, and I'm not going to spoil it, but if you look at the date, Molly was born on the 26th of September 2016, and somebody else was born on 26th of September 2006. And you can only guess how crazy you know, your life can get. It's just absolutely crazy how things can happen. So yeah, so when you read the book, then you will find out. So miracles happen when you believe, and something I believe doesn't happen is the coincidences. And they keep happening to me in these kind of things, and some people say, oh, it's a coincidence. I don't think they exist. So chapter 7 is called Coincidences Don't Exist. And my life, I don't know if I attract it or it just happens to me, but it somehow, for some reason, happens. And the themes I am exploring and writing about in my book are something about the family secrets. And I only discovered these things in England, so again, it's something mind-blowing. About identity. As I said, I grew up in communist regime, you know, being brainwashed, not believing in God, nothing spiritual. And then only when I came to England, I actually found out who I truly was and my identity. There is something about the Second World War, not only the Holocaust survival, but there is another story. About leaving your country because you just need a new start, you just need an adventure. About the importance of speaking a second language, but also about the benefits. I think you know about the benefits of speaking a second language, but there is something else, especially when you experience trauma, and how second language can help you. So that's explored in my book. The importance of sport, because I went to sport school and I love sport, and how sport can help you with your, you know, mental health and everything. And adoption, that's a big thing in the book. You will just read and see that it's just crazy. So these are the themes I kind of talk about in my book. When I said that, you know, you are struggling, you leave your country and you think, I leave my place, that's how I said at the beginning, and you think that will just sort itself and my life will become magically better. It doesn't happen like that. And I was looking for answers, and then I came across this absolutely amazing monk who is no longer with us, and he taught me two important things about love. It is the most important word, and forgiveness. That forgiving is the hardest thing in the world, but only if you do it. It's the easiest if you do something else. And I talk about these things in my book. And thanks to Father Nicholas, my life was transformed completely. And I became a new person in England. And because Father Nicholas is no longer with us, but I've got Father Michael, who is my special speaker tonight. So I would like to welcome Father Michael, who is from St. Joseph Church in Newbury, and he's going to tell us a few words as well. Thank you.
Beata, thank you. We only met just a few months ago when I arrived here in Newbury. And I'm very grateful that you've asked me to be here today at what's clearly a very important moment in your life, and the launch of something that is the fruit of much experience and reflection in your life. Today's the first time I've seen the book. I read a little bit about it and you've told me about it, but I've heard enough to understand that in many ways it is about the theme of healing and the theme of resilience. That's already clear from what you've said to us just now. As I understand it, your story is a sharing of your life's journey and a process of transition in your life, which is very unusual and very inspiring. It's all about, it seems to me, the opening up of new horizons, the new possibilities that life is now offering you that you didn't have once before when you were younger in a very different situation. The discovery of freedom of thought on a whole new level, the potential of possibility in all sorts of ways, and ultimately, and this is clearly key, the discovery of faith as an option for you, where it was not an option once before. Not possible in the Czechoslovakia of the 1980s where you grew up. And so a new identity for you as a child of God. And you've used that expression to me. The book, I think, also clearly is going to offer encouragement to people, other people, seeking new possibilities, discovering new potential, discovering answers and new avenues in life that can open up to them. Miracles do happen. It's interesting, the imagery of the sickle and the crown. They're two very powerful images. And I suppose the image of the sickle, what does it suggest? Something very utilitarian, and with its connotations quite threatening, perhaps, to many of us, given the historic legacy of that symbol. And then there's the symbol of the crown. The crown with its connotations of grandeur and majesty. But clearly, grandeur and majesty in the context not only of the earth and earthly things, but also spiritual and heavenly things. We speak of Christ our King. Beata has mentioned to me several times that she's fascinated by something I said a few weeks ago on the occasion of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration, which we marked at my church with a garden party and festivities. And I happened to mention that I'd met the Queen some years ago. And you were clearly very interested by that. It was a remarkable event, as I'm sure it is for everybody, the millions who have met her over the last 70 years and longer of her life. But for me, as a serving member of the armed forces at the time when I met her, it was key. It was a bit of a turning point, because a loyalty that was there by definition of being a member of the armed forces on paper became something a little bit more when you met that person face to face and you spoke with them. And they were able to impart something to you that actually inspired not just loyalty, but an admiration and affection. So I think there's so much summed up in the image of the crown in relation to that personal experience in regard to faith as well, and the discovery of faith, and clearly the things that you've discovered on your journey with the help of Father Nicholas here. I suppose the experience of meeting the Queen, my life experience, all those things, my time in the armed forces, I suppose it entrenched a sense of loyalty for me that had a reality to it, not just a tokenism to it. And yeah, I would be proud to say it sits firmly beneath, alongside, but beneath my loyalty to God. The book captures a life, but it's got a way to go yet. It's clearly got a way to go. Who knows what further potential and possibilities are in store in the future. Growth has already happened for you spiritually, it's clearly happened intellectually, it's happened on all sorts of levels. We await the ongoing journey and the possibilities to come. So I wish you every success with your book and whatever lies ahead for you.
I know. Thank you.
A little bit later, Beata's asked me to just do a simple blessing of the new book. Thank you. Thank you. Father of light and wisdom, we praise you for your gifts, for giving us the power to see and the ability to write and to read and to use the arts of printing. Help us to use these crafts and skills for your greater honour and glory, and for the salvation of all your people. Bless these books, and grant that all who use them may grow in wisdom and grace before you and all your people. Father, we praise you through Jesus Christ your Son, in the love of your Holy Spirit, now and always, and forever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Father. You know, I can just listen to him for hours. It's just,
Don't recommend
it's
that.
just yes. I came to the United Kingdom in the hope of running away from my past and learning a new language. Learning a second language, together with its culture, helped me to embrace something new. And this new venture happened to be the beginning of an absolutely amazing personal transformation. Do you know that every time you learn a new language, you begin to associate this language with a set of new experiences that are partially disconnected from those earlier in your life? For many of you, this experience can be a bit upsetting or confusing. You may no longer feel like yourself or know where your home is. When you move to a different country, your native country can become more and more distant in time, and you begin to feel less like the person you were when you emigrated. Be that as it may, in my case, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It has given me a unique opportunity and a chance to explore my identity without being concerned with people's preconceived notions of who I was. I get to really follow my heart and calling without having to compromise it with my past relationships, personal history, and identity. And you know what? This story is not reserved just for me or for a select few. You too have the same destiny. You too are the chosen one. If that is so, what will you do? As Father said, the symbol of crown is the symbol of power, authority, dominance. Also the symbol of pain and suffering. And I love quotes. And there is a very famous one. It says, always wear your invisible crown. I think you know this one. But there is also another one that says, crown yourself. And now we've got the king here with us, who is going to crown ourselves. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Ian, can I please ask you to do your job, your noble job now?
Good evening, everybody. So on Thursday evening, Paulina, my wife, is a very good friend of Beata, and come home and asked me to do a few words tonight, so it was a nice surprise. And as you can tell from all the conversation so far this evening and what's around us and what's on the screen, that there is a reference to crowns, and we'll get onto that one in a little bit in terms of what that's going to mean for now. But Beata, one of the things I asked Beata on Thursday evening and yesterday is kind of what do you want me to talk about, and it's very much do not focus on Beata, yeah? Focus on everybody, but I think given the reason that we're here tonight, we should give you a little bit of focus. Oh, yes. Absolutely. And on this special evening that we really celebrate the amazing achievement that you've done with your book. But, you know, I haven't known Beata very long myself, but she is a very, very dear friend of my wife. And I speak from experience of being married for 13 years, that's quite a tough gig, actually, to get into her inner circle, and I'm still trying. But it does speak volumes about yourself and your personality. And the other thing that Beata said to me as well is let's not focus on the past, but focus on the now, focus on the future, most definitely. But I kind of look at it as driving a car a little bit as well. That you don't want to focus on the past, but you're very much focused on your destination. And you're exploring along the way whilst you're driving. You've got excitement, but also a little bit of fear and reservation. And many challenges are faced in that journey. But it's also right that we do glance back as well along the way. And we see the mistakes and the dangers that were there previously. And that can sometimes help the future journey be a little bit smoother along the way. So I've been particularly impressed with Beata's drive, passion, bravery and resilience, and that's a word that Father Michael used as well, so it's obviously something that is really be picked up in quite strong. And coming from the background that's being described in the book, to come to a new country with a new culture and a different language, and now launching our very own book, and I think that speaks real volumes about Beata, because it's quite scary and it's not something that I think I'm brave enough to do myself. I was born in England, I'm still here. I've not ventured very far. So it's for these reasons that I think we should give a very special mention to our own Queen Bee this evening. But we should all recognise that we've had our own journeys, and we're still going through those own journeys through life, and we should celebrate all of our achievements. So I think it's right that with all the decoration around us, we take that opportunity to put on our own crowns and just get rid of the invisible ones for a little bit and give Beata a very big round of applause.
Well, thank you, Ian. And so could you please keep on passing the crowns and keep on putting them on their heads. And you know, this book, and I would not be standing here, there are so many people I can say thank you with, but there is one special one. Sarah? No, you don't need your crown. Could you please come here? Yeah? Oh, you want to do me?
Yes.
Oh, oh, thank you, Ian. Thank you.
No worries. Congratulations. And thankfully for the Jubilee, this was my son's outfit for school. So it's been recycled. I didn't buy it for myself.
Thank you. So there are so many people I would like to thank. It's all in the book. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. You look so lovely with your crowns. Neil, can you maybe? You have, perfect, see? And yes, so, but I would not be here, and the book would not be here if it wasn't for Sarah. Sarah, we met with Sarah at Newbury College. She used to be my teaching assistant, and when I left college, she says, I'm leaving.
I was
If you
an
go,
overworked volunteer.
she left. Now she's helping me with YouTube videos. We have an office upstairs, so she's been absolutely amazing. And when we were doing the books, and I said, you know, I asked her, Sarah, could you please help me? Of course, Beata, of course. And I said, do you know what I mean here? Do you understand what I'm saying? She said, no, I know what you mean, but this is not what you are saying.
Yeah.
And there were like things that, what are you trying to say here? I don't know. So it was just endless conversations.
I just had to rearrange things a bit.
Yes, and make it more English, or it was just, she was amazing. And of course there is the editor, the publishing thing, and all my friends who believed in me. But, yes,
Okay.
you are my queen, okay?
Thank you, Beata.
Is it too small? Is it okay?
That's fine.
And,
Oh,
yes, thank you so much, Sarah. You know how I, yes.
oh,
Thank you so much.
oh, so sweet.
Yes,
It was a
thank
pleasure.
you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, so
Thank you.
now. I
No,
enjoyed every minute
no,
of it.
no, thank you. You look lovely. How does it feel? Yeah, we should wear it every day, I think. So when you read the book, you will come to the end. And so this is my story. This is the end of my story. But I would like you to now change the story you tell yourself. Because it's not what people tell us, it's what we believe. So then it is a goodbye from me, but it is hello, gorgeous. And when you read the book, it will all make sense. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you've got some inspiration from this book. And now it's up to us to go and inspire maybe other people. Thank you so much. Bye.
Oh,
And now we can dance.
I didn't have a chance to even reflect in the mirror.